Hi everyone. Hi Mom. This is my latest. Just completed it a few minutes ago. Actually haven't had a chance to clean my fingers yet, but I wanted to get it filmed and uploaded today. So I decided I wanted to do something steampunk. It's not like super duper steampunk, but I have tons of cardstock in pads, and I wanted to start using those up. So I did another ring binder. The cover is actually one of these by Zutter. My craft store had them on for $2.99, so I bought as many as they had. And they're 8x8, but I just cut the edges off with a rotary cutter. And you've got the whole, comes with a plastic piece that you put the holes in, and you attach your pages to that, and that slides in, and you can see it here. It slides into a little pocket, and I'll show you when I flip through the book. Anyway, I did a real simple cover. I really like the paper, and that paper stack is this one, Poetic Postage. I don't know if it's available anymore. I bought it a long time. Like I said, I got tons of paper. It's the Paper Studio was who made that. And it does have a postal theme, but I really love the coloring of it, so I thought it would go quite well with some of the digital kits that I have that are steampunk. I did the Tim Holtz corners on the front and the back, and I did absolutely nothing to the back other than put the little gear on there for the closure. I did decoupage the spine, so I did a separate piece of paper here just to cover the, it is craft color, the book cover, but I still wanted a pattern on there. Was going to paint it, changed my mind. Anyway, so I wanted to protect it from cracking, so I just decoupaged the spine. I wanted the rest of the paper that flat look so that the clock would stand out a little bit. I did paint over that, the numbers, as well as the edging here with this stuff again. This is getting to be my go-to thing. I love it. Had a little Brad in my stash. This is the Tim Holtz weathered clock, and this was I bought the new Sizzix embossing, what is it called, die cutting machine, but I bought the one that's got the wide. It's about 8 inches wide, so it's awesome. Anyway, I'm back to manual again. I was using my Vagabond, but I don't like the 6-inch opening, so I really love the fact that you get 2 extra inches. Anyway, with it, they came with the scroll. They gave me the scroll, and they gave me a embossing folder, which I already have, so that'll go in somebody's giveaway. Oh, and before I go any farther, I wanted to say congratulations. I did do a secret draw, and one of the girls won it, and the funny thing is she lives like an hour away from me, so that was like, what a fluke. So I did mail it to her, and I think she had it in 2 days, which is awesome. I was really pleased. So anyway, she won a journal. That was to kind of celebrate the fact that I hit 7,000 subscribers. So thank you so much, you guys. And like I said before, just random drawings is what I'm doing. Okay, so I just did a hairband closure again and the hitch post, and that's it. I mean, it's very, very simple. So the inside, see, this is why I like these, because it opens flat. And you've got a really nice sturdy, it's super thick, the cover. I had these from Michaels. They're little canvas tags. And then these are from Glitz. I believe I have a ton of stickers and stuff. Went through a bunch of stuff, and I'm really, really trying to use up a lot of things. This was already printed out, and I believe that's from Ephemera's Vintage Garden. And I did print on the other side. She also has a kind of a distressed coffee stain lined. So I just flipped it over, and honestly can't tell you what paper I did that on. It's not as thick as cardstock, but it's heavier than paper. It's been a while. So the first page is this digital kit is from Dreamz, etc. I think it is. Anyway, I did it with a tie closure, and I glued them and then glued a little crown over top of where I stapled it and glued it so that it wouldn't come out. And this piece was added separately, and then I added another piece of paper to hinge it. And if you look close, you can see there's a little staple there. And I did do some stamping this time. I haven't done that in a while, so I was kind of happy about that. But I like the way this turned out. I had envisioned something else, but this is the way it came. Okay, so this was, that's the Tim Holtz embossing folder, and it's like gears and stuff like that. And when I ripped it, of course, it ripped around the gears, which looked really cool. Rubbed over it really lightly with some, what's this stuff called? Embossing ink, distress embossing ink. This is the sticky stuff, so that your embossing powder sticks to it. And then I don't remember what I used. It was a Lindy's, I do know that. There's a gear I cut in half, and I covered it. I don't know if that shows up, but I'll hold it up nice and close so you can see it. I cut it in half. It was just sitting on the desk. And again, more stickers in my stash. Now this was from, I think this is the Heirloom. Now somebody asked me about that before. Sorry, that guy's upside down. Oh, I know he's not. There's two of them. Ha ha. What's that from? Heirloom. And it's DCWV. That's who makes the paper pad. So I did tea stain it. And this is a Martha Stewart edge punch. Again, I used some embossing powder around a coffee stained doily that I cut out, and yeah, layering. This was also from Dreamz, etc., I believe, and I backed it onto a tag I had cut out. I have the Sizzix, you know, that is the same size as the Tim Holtz. I guess it is a Tim Holtz. Oh, this stuff here is Sorry from Candace Scarborough's shop. Stamping. Okay, again, I did some embossing. Now this doily, that's from Denise, and it's just stunning. I love it. This is just a dollar store one that I had tea stained, and a little tag I cut out with some leftover. I tried to use a lot of it up. I did use quite a bit, and the cutoffs that I had were about 3 inches wide, because the paper pad is a funny shape, but I used that to make the tabs, and so no waste. This one is a Pinterest, and I backed it on a lined index card. This is Ephemera's Vintage Garden, and I think this one is called Steamtown's. No. She's got two. One is Steamtown Spring, and one is, I forget. Sorry. I can't remember. Little stamp and tell your story. This one here was another glitz sticker that I had, and so I just did a flip. And this is intended to add a photo and then journal. Some washi tape. This is also from, I wonder if it's Steamtown Travel, something like that. Sorry, I'm rambling. This is a memory box die that these two pieces are. This is the movers and shapers. It's actually one piece that I cut in half. And then I did do some frontage in gold on those. An index card that I stamped. And there's the butterfly. I wanted to hold that up close because that really turned out really neat. I like the way that turned out. So I had used this. I've shown this before, Cosmic Shimmer. It's a texture paste, but it's kind of jellyish. And so the bottom part of the butterfly, before I had glued them together, I just smeared it on there, let it dry, and then the top part I did with, what did I do that with? Gold, I think. Yeah, just a gold. And some trim from eBay, a little envelope, and I turned it around and folded the flap down. These pieces are from Ephemera's Vintage Garden as well, but I made a mistake, and when I printed, instead of printing landscape, I printed the other way, and so it cut off some of the images. Well, this was one of the ones that cut off, so I just stuck it on there. And then put a little tag that I cut out. I also have that die. And the Tim Holtz, I don't know what it's called, but it's Tim Holtz. Little ticket. This is from Tsunami Rose, and they print out black and white. So I just lightly sprayed it with some tea, I think. And I don't know, my printer was fine. If I just print in black, it doesn't smear, but if it prints color, it will. Some stamping. This is a, if that shows up, that is from Stampin' Up, and you just layer it. So I just emboss the numbers and the little banner clip that I made. This is just a brad that I've had in my stash forever. I had a little piece of this hanging around on some ribbon, and then I found these in my office. I don't know where they came from, but I've got a whole paper pad of them. So I coffee stained them all. I did add some washi to the front and back before I punched the holes, because it is quite thin. But I thought it was kind of cool, so I just threw that in there. Sorry, my stomach's going to growl, so hopefully you won't hear that. Apparently I'm hungry. What time? I don't even know what time it is. I really wanted to finish this, so. Okay, so this is printed on tracing paper. And this is also from Ephemera's Vintage Garden. This little piece here is, this was wrapped around my swap journal that I got from, oh, good grief, Shirley? Oh, Charlene, sorry, oh my goodness. Yeah, it's called Mental Pause, you guys. And I just stuck a postcard in there. This is one of those that come on a sheet and you just cut them apart. And then on this side is the lined part of it. So because it is tracing paper, you can write right on that. Ephemera's Vintage Garden, some more stamping. I put in a couple of tags, and these are meant as photo mats, and this is just out of the leftover paper. And it's the same on both sides. Okay, so this is that on the edge. I finally used it. I have had it forever and I never use it. More of the glitz stickers, and this is another of the postcards. And on the end of this, I cut a doily, part of a doily. So I wrapped it around the page, and then that created a tuck spot. And then this was in my stash again. Teresa Collins, I think that is, and Pinterest. And I just stamped. And this is Ephemera's Vintage Garden. More Tim Holtz. This is leftover, so these are meant as photo mats, and then you flip it up and it's got a little spot here. Somebody gifted this to me a long time ago. It says Memory Lane Bicycle Company. I just sprayed it with some tea. And this is one of those, I'll show you it. I don't know the name of it. I think it's LeBlanc. You know, the foamy kind. I'm not a big fan of these, but I really like, this one does stamp pretty good. And all I did was use, I don't know if that shows, but there's detail embossing on it. And I did alcohol ink this little paper clip here. And then there's another Pinterest download. This is a tuck spot, but you don't need to use it as that. It's just the other half of the one I cut. Ephemera's Vintage Garden. This is a little tuck here. I have the movers and shapers, the gears, and I sparkled up the inside. And I think that's stickles that I used on that. Teresa Collins frame, again the swirl. This is another doily. I believe my mother-in-law gave that to me. It just looks so old and I love it. They're white, but I did spray them. And then that's a little stamp that I have that stamps out like a tag, and I did it on to the back of a index card. Ephemera's Vintage Garden. More Tim Holtz. This piece here, this is that ribbon. Oh, let me grab it. Who makes that? I don't know, Paper Studio. Yeah, I've got a couple rolls of those. So I just sprayed it with tea. And then this was just a cutoff, and I used it so that you could journal on here, but you can add some photos here. And I left it open on the side so you can actually put some more journaling in there. Okay, this is a bunch of, I have a huge roll of tickets that Irene had gifted to me. So I sprayed them with tea, and then I had all these little words that I stuck on there. But I added it to a piece of scrap that I used, that on the edge postage one, because with the perforation it wouldn't stay, and I wanted to make sure it did. Ephemera's Vintage Garden, another glitz sticker, and then these are these awesome tags. Oh, I didn't realize I had 4 of them in there. I don't want 4. I only want 2. I think they're Tim Holtz, but they're good for journaling because this, you can put a photo here and then journal about the photo. You can add another photo here too as well. And then I made a envelope. I tea stained it. This here, I believe, is from that other one I told you, not Ephemera's Vintage Garden. Oh dear, it's gone again. I used a spinner to close it, so it's a flip out, and then I added a spot for a photo, and then it folds out, and there's a postcard in here, and another spot for a photo or journaling. This is a tuck, so you can add something in there. Again, there's 4, so this is the 3rd one. Yeah, there's one under here. And this was just a sticker that I mounted on a piece of the scrap. And the little movers and shapers typewriter. And I took a piece of paper, and these are stickers as well. So create memories. Again, so this is what that memory box die looks like. And then I used clear embossing powder on that one. And again, my dragonfly, I love using that. And this is that big Sizzix postage die. Another glitz sticker, and then this is a piece of the scrap, and I backed it on a manila tag. And then here's the 4th one. I really love this one, and they're all tea stained. So there's a tuck spot there. So this is scrap, and I flipped it over so that I could create the little tuck, and then it flips open, so there's lots of room for journaling. Ephemera's Vintage Garden. I love this one. Oh, and the ink I used on all of these, this is the Peanut Brittle by Memento. And this was a download from the internet, and I was doing I don't know why I was searching on when the first streetlight was made. I don't know why. It's just, I do those things. Anyway, this photo popped up. So I printed it out and found it in my stash. I just added a bit of trim. So this is my 2nd banner clip. And again, a brad. And this is from Butterby Scraps. And that's, you know, just scraps. So it flips up with a place to journal. And I just stuck this here because I liked it. It was pretty. More stamping. Ephemera's Vintage Garden. And I don't know what this stamp is. I think, I want to say it's Dollar Store, but I don't know. I have so many of them, I don't know. And then this one here is that, what are they called? The framelets. I don't know the name of the set, but that's what it is. And it says today. I know it's really hard to see, but it does say that. And then on the back, this was a piece of scrap that were like blocks of letters. So I just cut around the blocks to create a pocket. And then this is a photo, kind of a little photo book. So it can hold 4 photos. And then you can journal about each photo. And I used the torn paper one and ticket edged and sewed it. I used washi tape to wrap it around, and then sewed right through the washi. And I did glue all of these down so they wouldn't tear off. And that's it, you guys. That's the book. I love the way it turned out. It's very grungy, and I love that about it. And I love that it's all one piece and covered. And I don't know if it shows, but there is kind of a bump to this one. They come two different ways. One like this, and then the other one is flat. So I have both. But anyway, I love the way this turned out. So leave a comment. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it. And thanks for watching, you guys. Bye.